How about them Blue Jays? The Blue Jays survive the Gavin Sheets legacy game and pull off a 7-6 victory in extra innings. It required 11 innings. Jays are back above 500 at 25 and 24. They sweep the Padres. Vibes are at an all-time high. Really exciting game today, back and forth. You would have liked them to finish it out in 9, but that's the way it goes sometimes. We ride with it because we got the victory in the end, and that is what matters. Bowden Francis was on the bump against Kolek for the Padres. Bowden Francis has been really hit and miss this year. He got the job done. You know, he only went 4 innings to let up 2 runs. It's not ideal for a starting pitcher, but it's also not a total implosion. And ultimately, it did set us up to win the game. So no real complaints. Would like to see him get 5 or 6 innings in a start. They have had a hard time pushing him past about 80 to 85 pitches all year long. They just don't like him going up to that range. So it was not surprising to see him pulled after the 4th. Anyways, let's get into the recap here. First inning, 3 up, 3 down for both sides. Second inning, scoring gets started right away as Jackson Merrill, who had been kept in check the first couple of games, singles to lead off the inning, and Gavin Sheets, as I mentioned, legacy game loading. He homers to right field, making it 2-0 Padres. Jays are unable to answer back as they get the bases loaded in the bottom of the second, I believe. Yeah, Barger singles, Clement flies out, Lucas walks, Clase singles. So you got bases loaded, 1 out, Miles Straw at the dish. Grounds into a double play, inning ender. Remains 2-0 heading to the 3rd inning. So a tough break there for us. But you know what? Miles Straw has been so good this year. We'll let it slide. Bowden Francis settles in, gets them to go 3 up, 3 down in the 3rd. He walks Tatis Jr. before getting Arias to ground into a double play and Machado to strike out swinging. So good rebound there. And then in the bottom of the 3rd, the Jays pick him up a bit as Heineman singles to right, and Heineman's been unreal. We all know it. He just continues to hit, and I love that. Our catching tandem right now is just lights out. Bichette follows him up with a single, moving him up to second. Guerrero Jr. flied out to right, and then Varsho grounds into a fielder's choice to first base. This was a Gavin Sheets was running towards second base, and he bobbled it. The base runner and the ball kind of got to him at the same time, and it kicks off his glove and goes past him. Varsho moves up to second base, Bichette safe at 3rd, and I believe, and Heineman scored. So it was now 2-1 for the Padres. Barger then follows that up with a single to left field. Bichette scores and Varsho moves up to 3rd, and then unfortunately we're unable to get anything else after that as Clement grounds out to the catcher, and then Nathan Lucas grounds out to second base. So could have been a bigger inning, but you take it. We got the 2 runs back, we tied it up, you picked your pitcher up a bit after giving up that early home run, and you're feeling back in the game at this point. Top of 4, Merrill singles again, Gavin Sheets flies out to the warning track, Cronenworth walks, Diaz flies out, and then Iglesias grounds out to the shortstop, so it remains 2-2. And that was ultimately the end of Bowden Francis's day. So like I say, 4 innings pitched, 2 runs. It's not the best start, but you take it. Kolek still in there in the bottom of the 4th. Clase walks to lead it off. Straw flies out. Heineman singles, moving Clase up to second with 1 out. Bichette then singles, and with Clase's speed, he's able to score. Heineman moves up to second. Guerrero Jr. is then hit by pitch. It looked scary at the time. It went up and in on his hands. I think it ended up getting him on the forearm. But yeah, it looked scary at the time. You're thinking, oh great, broken bones in the hand. Luckily to avoid injury there. Varsho then hits a sac fly, making it 4-2 for the Blue Jays. Barger strikes out swinging ending the inning, but the damage is done. We're up 4-2. We're feeling good heading into the 5th. Wyrod comes in and again looking unbelievable. Gets 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. Kolek's back cruising in the 5th. He settles in. He gets Clement to fly out, walks Lucas, strikes Clase out, and gets Straw to fly out. So we head to the 6th, 4-2 Blue Jays. Wyrod's still in, gets Manny Machado to ground out before being lifted for Mason Fluharty, and Fluharty comes in and gets Merrill out finally and gets Sheets to pop out to 3rd base, keeping it 4-2. Kolek still in the 6th. Heineman strikes out, Bichette strikes out, Guerrero grounds out, and then in the 7th, Fluharty gets his 3rd batter as he goes Cronenworth strikeout swinging before they go to Chad Green, who comes in and gets Diaz to fly out before giving up a single to Iglesias, and then as he's pitching to Jason Hayward, Iglesias is caught stealing at second base by Heineman. And Kirky and Heineman have been throwing out, I think I saw a stat, they've thrown out 48% of their base runners that have attempted stealing. I don't know whether that was on the season or just in a given time frame, but it was a fairly large sample size that I saw. Either way, these guys are prime Pudge Rodriguez right now. They are not letting anybody steal bases, and it is fantastic. You couple that with the league average or better bats that we're getting out of them, and yeah, this catching tandem as a duo is like an all-star level player right now. It's really great to see out of them. Matsui comes in to pitch for San Diego, gets Varsho to ground out, Barger doubles off of him, Clement fouls out, and Lucas grounds out. So they keep it 4-2. And I'll skip ahead now to where the action happens. Top of 9, we're up 4-2. We got Jeff Hoffman in the game. And I feel for Jeff Hoffman here, man, because Merrill works a good at-bat, 6 pitches, takes a walk. You never want to walk the leadoff guy. And then Gavin Sheets in a 1-1 count. This splitter was low and away. It was a well-pitched, like it was a well-placed ball. And Gavin Sheets just sits on it. He keeps his hands back. He's able to ride the splitter out. He hits it 405 feet to center field. Like I say, it was a good pitch. It wasn't hung. It wasn't, middle. It caught strike zone, but it was a fairly well-placed 90-mile-an-hour splitter, and Gavin just stayed on it. He was hot today, and he rides it out. I believe he had 5 RBIs. After that, Hoffman settles in, gets Cronenworth to line out, strikes out Diaz, and gets Iglesias to strike out. But the damage is already done. It's now a blown save. It's 4-4. Just an aside, I'm not worried about Jeff Hoffman here. His velocity looks good. He looks like he might be a little bit tired. He was getting a lot of missing out to the arm side where it was kind of taking off on him a bit. But his swing and miss is still there. He's still striking out a ton of batters. He's not walking many. And this home run to fly ball rate where he's 35% of his fly balls, I want to say, have been home runs this year. It's just not sustainable. He's running into some bad luck. He's still not giving up many base runners. Anyways, I just wanted to touch on that I know he's been blowing a lot of saves, and I know that it's been a rough couple of weeks for him. But the underlying numbers and just the way that he's looked, I'm not that concerned longer term. I might be crazy to say that could be a bad take, but that's just how I'm picturing it right now. I see over the next few weeks, eventually this streak of bad luck will settle out, and he will settle in. That's just my take. Bottom of the 9th, we're unable to do anything. The top of the order there just looked abysmal in this inning. Guerrero Jr. flies out to center. Varsho grounds out. Barger was walked, and then that actually was a really nice at-bat. Barger, a 10-pitch. I was going to say 11. Yeah, it was a 10-pitch at-bat where he fouled off 4 pitches. Just great stuff from him. Addison Barger is locked in right now. He is not swinging at bad pitches, and if he can keep this up, he's going to be a scary, scary bat. Ernie Clement walks, moving Barger up to second there before Lucas flies out to right, ending the inning, so we head to extras. And as we all know, there's the ghost runner on second base that starts off the inning. Really tough to keep them off the board with no outs and a runner on second. Bogarts grounds out to third base, but Iglesias moves up to third for the top of the 10th there. Tatis then strikes out swinging. Arias singles scoring the run, and Machado grounds out. So it's now 5-4 Padres heading to the bottom of the 10th. Jonathan Clase is up. He singles in Nathan Lucas right away, making it 5-5 before Springer flies out batting for Straw. Kirky comes into bat for Heineman, singles, moving Clase up before Bichette and Guerrero both get out, keeping it 5-5 heading to the 11th. Brendan Little's in pitching. I believe this was his second. Yeah, this was his second inning. He came in the 10th. And he gets Merrill to fly out before giving up a single to, you guessed it, Gavin Sheets. Machado scores, making it 6-5. Cronenworth then lines out, and Fisher comes in, pitching to Diaz, gets him to fly out. And Braden Fisher ended up securing his first win, so that was really nice to see. Bottom of 11 here. Interesting play right off the top. So Guerrero Jr. is standing on second, leading off the inning. And Varsho hits one right down the line on the ground. It gets past the first baseman, goes into the corner. I'd have to watch a replay on this, but from what I saw, Tatis Jr. was pretty nonchalant. He bobbled it a little bit, it looked like, but the way the camera cut, I couldn't really tell what happened for sure. And he looked like he was fairly nonchalant picking the ball up and just kind of chucking it in. Like he thought Dalton Varsho was going to just stand up at second. And it ended up costing him, if that is what happened, because Varsho moves on to third on the play, and that triple became very valuable because with Varsho standing on third base, they have to move the infield in. Barger's intentionally walked. Clement then flies out, so you've got one out. And like I said, they've got the infield in with Nathan Lucas up, and he's able to smash one through the left side. And if they're playing at normal depth there, that would have been a double play ball. And that would have gotten them out of the game. Like that would have. So I don't know. They would have gone to the 12th inning at that point. That nonchalant play by Tatis potentially did cost them the game there. But like I said, I would have to go back and double check the replay on that. Because if that's not what happened, apologies to Tatis. That's just what it looked like in the moment. Anyway, so yeah, 7-6 Blue Jays. They walk it off. Vibes are at an all-time high after sweeping a good team like the Padres, moving back above 500. I think we're 5 games behind the Yankees still, but we're right there in the AL. Nobody's really running away with like the wild cards or anything like that. We're right in the thick of things, and the way the offense is firing, the way the pitching has looked, there's a lot of reason to believe this team is a playoff team at this given moment. And if we keep this up, I think we'll be pushing all in at the deadline. Ross Atkins, Mark Shapiro, they'll be wanting to keep their jobs. And yeah, if they keep this up, I see an exciting summer ahead of us. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on the game. What did you notice? Drop a comment below. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.